Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. It is Dr. Shani here, and I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for, coming to this channel. I'm so happy to engage with you, and to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I'm going to jump right into this conversation because Mother's Day is this Sunday, and it brings a lot of anxiety for a lot of people for many reasons. Personally, I grew up with a wonderful mother, very loving, retired school teacher. She sewed into my life, my sister's life, my dad's life, even her own life, the lives of her siblings. Very much a giver, very much a intelligent woman, very beautiful woman. I could go on and on talking about my mother. And we have a beautiful relationship. And was the relationship always, peachy keen? Absolutely not. As you grow, you have some of those growing pains that come along with a mother-daughter dynamic. But over the years, we've worked through those things and have had some honest conversations with one another. So if I died today or if my mom died tomorrow, we would do so knowing that we said everything that needed to be said. We left it all on the table, and that there's nothing but love and adoration and respect between the two of us. And so I'm blessed to have a mother who is 77 years old, going on 78. But I do understand that not many people have that same dynamic with their mom. Sometimes relationships with parents can be very complicated. And sometimes it's just outright, you know, uh, beautiful. Sometimes they can be outright toxic. So, whatever your relationship with your mom looks like, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you this Mother's Day as we celebrate this holiday. But I want to encourage you to manage your expectations and let go of some of those societal expectations that we have learned to place on ourselves. Okay. We all have done it. We all have sometimes felt that pressure to like perform, to show up in a certain way, to buy, to give, to just go overboard during these holidays. And if you watch some of my Christmas videos or a little video I made during the holidays, I talk about, just why that causes a lot of stress, holiday anxiety, and why I really don't believe in that. I believe that, you know, you love people each and every day. You show up for them, you tell them how you feel, and you give gifts and things of that nature. Yes, that's all a part of showing love and affection, but it doesn't have to be a um, grandiose thing all the time. Okay. And if you feel like doing that, that's fine, but make sure that you're not sacrificing so much of yourself and finding yourself getting to a place where the holidays, the Mother's Day, Christmas, Father's Day, all of those holidays are creating more stress for you, if that makes sense. So I thought about some things, and I thought about some of the reasons why Mother's Day can be very stressful, in addition to sometimes there being strained relationships, complicated relationships between mother, daughter, mother, and son. Sometimes, the expectation to just do it all financially. I gotta buy mom a watch, I gotta buy her this expensive perfume, I gotta. And social media doesn't help that at all, because you see people with all these wonderful balloons and things that are so nice. And I'm sure that our moms are well deserving of that. But if you cannot afford it, don't go in the hole trying to do those things. Your mother knows that you love her. She knows that you care. She knows that you're thinking about her if your mom is still with us on this earth. So do what you can if that is important to you and to your mother. But if it's something that's going to put your budget in the negative, find an alternative way to acknowledge and to celebrate Mother's Day. If that is something you choose to do, keep in mind, this is not a holiday that you just have to acknowledge or celebrate. For you, it may look like I celebrate mom every day, sort of like how I, think about Mother's Day now. Like I celebrate my mom every day and try to tell her wonderful things and make her feel special. And she does the same thing for me. So this is just kind of one day for me. And I look at it from the bigger picture of what our relationship has been in the totality of my life. So start to reframe some of the ways in which you're thinking about these isolated days. Is it more so about the bigger picture of what you do 365, or is it really about this one particular day? So you can choose how you want your Mother's Day celebration or acknowledgement to look. So you don't have to meet these societal expectations and feel frustrated by trying to keep up with other people or these expectations that are just placed upon you. Another way to think about it too, if your mom or the woman who was a mother figure to you is no longer with us physically on this earth, you can always just tell people you're really not interested in celebrating or acknowledging if it is too painful for you. Sometimes we need to hold space for people to be okay with not engaging in the celebrations or not going to church or not showing up at a luncheon or an event or something that's going to be triggering or traumatic for them. What I have done for myself in my home is, as my father passed away in 2023, I have a lantern, and I'm going to talk about it, probably in another video. But when I'm thinking about my dad or when I want to hold space for my dad, I do things in my home to acknowledge his presence, that things that make me feel close and connected to him. And it doesn't have to be anything external, like doing something like a daughter daddy thing. So think about ways if your loved one, your mom, is no longer with you. Think about things that are special to you that bring you fun thoughts and positive memories of your mom, and try to acknowledge those things in your own home and with the few people around you who make you feel happy. And again, keep in mind, you don't have to do anything. There's an expectation, but you don't have to meet other people's expectation. If Mother's Day is triggering to you, you don't want to be bothered, you can simply tell people that you don't want to be bothered, or simply you don't have to say anything. You can just simply deactivate for a couple of days to refresh and to regroup, because it can be very painful. I really want to just add that, love is the most important thing. Again, relationships can sometimes be very complicated, but if you love yourself and if you have love for your mom, and if you love your mom, whether that relationship is positive or whether it's complicated, that's the thing that I would encourage you to lead with, because love, just transcends a lot of things. So, relationships are not going to always be perfect, okay? Because nothing in life is perfect. Sometimes we have to work on things, we have to work on ourselves, we have to work on setting boundaries. And sometimes we have to do that with mom, and mom has to do that with us. We have to also work on forgiveness, and it works both ways. We have to learn to embrace therapeutic practices and going to therapy, whether mom chooses to or not, or whether you choose to not. Someone has to start the cycle of getting healed, getting healthy, getting whole, and changing the dynamics of unhealthy mother daughter, daughter son, or mother son relationships. So someone has to be that person to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to work on trying to make this better if there's some strain there. And sometimes it's just important to understand that capacity uh, really matters when we start to think about our relationships with our parents. Your parents cannot give you what they do not have. Okay. So manage those expectations of mom if the relationship is strained in some respects, or you have this expectation for your mom to be a certain way and she hasn't lived up to that. People can only give what they have. They can only take you as far as they know how to go, as far as someone else perhaps has even shown them, and sometimes they haven't been shown the way. So give grace, um, embrace forgiveness, embrace therapy, understand that mom may not be perfect, you are not perfect, I'm not perfect, my mother is not perfect, but guess what? If we lead with love, we can work on healing, restoration, and being whole, positive people for ourselves and for those around us. What else I want to say? My last kind of concluding thought, I really want to say that as I reflect on my relationship with my mom, and again, we have a good relationship, I really think about my relationship both with my parents. I don't consider myself to be a daddy's girl or a mama's girl. I'm like a parent's girl. I love both my parents so much because they've just sown so much into my life, and I would not be who I am were it not for God blessing me with wonderful parents. So what you see here is a product of two great parents. But I remember when my dad was transitioning the Wednesday before he passed, and the doctor said, one thing you've been given is time. You have time to say goodbye to your dad. And I want you to think about that as you think about Mother's Day and think about your relationship and how you're going to celebrate or acknowledge or choose to not acknowledge. But just keep in mind, time is of the essence. We don't have much time on this earth, and nothing will sober you up like death. Seeing death, witnessing it, walking through grief lets you know that time is of the essence. So if there's an opportunity for you to restore relationship with your mom, work on doing that. It may not happen in her lifetime the way you want it or in your lifetime, but if small efforts can be made, try to do that. The Bible says, as far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men. Sometimes, relationships are complicated, but as far as it depends on you, try to be at peace with other people. And it's good to also protect your boundaries. And so, again, this all goes into managing expectations, but just keep in mind that life is short. You don't want to spend your time caught up in a lot of negativity and arguments, especially with your mom. And it doesn't mean that mom is 100% right or you're 100% right. But if there's a way to find commonality, to find peace, seek after that peace. And if your mother or your mother figure has gone on to be with the Lord and is no longer here on earth, remember that you have done well. She is proud of you. Take time to acknowledge the positive that you have done. If you didn't get a chance to say goodbye, that's okay. Your mom or your mother figure knew how you felt about her. And so release that guilt, release that anxiety, and stop putting so much pressure on yourself for things that were well beyond your control. You can still acknowledge and celebrate if you choose to. It doesn't have to be a big thing, in your own special way. Acknowledge and celebrate that important mother figure or mother person in your life. So that's my concluding message. I just don't want you guys to be stressed out about trying to live up to these expectations that society puts on us around Mother's Day. It's really just about love, acknowledgement, showing care and concern more than just this one day. It's about the totality of what you are to your mom and what you have been to your mom or your mother figure, and how you show up, not just on one Sunday in the month of May, but all the other days. So keep that in mind. Give yourself grace. Be positive about the things that you can do and the things that you have done. And don't feel guilty if you don't feel like celebrating Mother's Day in the traditional way, or if you want to keep it quiet, or even if your mom has gone on, you're grieving and you just don't feel like it, or even if you choose to do big, wonderful things. All those things are choices. But my point is, lead from love and let the experience be something that is happy for mom, if mom is still here, but also something that is happy for you, whether mom is here or not, because it's not just about mom, it's about how you are also feeling and how mom is feeling. So feelings matter, and how you're feeling on that day is also truly very important. So keep those things in mind. Okay, thank you so much for watching. And again, thank you all for subscribing to this channel. I welcome you here, and I look forward to offering more videos to you now that it's summertime and my schedule is a little bit more free. So I'll be checking back in with you guys in a couple of days. But again, thank you for watching. And to all mothers, and to those who are intending to be mothers, those who perhaps have lost children but still consider themselves to be those who are mothers, I want to wish you a happy happy Mother's Day. And to those who choose not to be mothers or who are not mothers, I wish you a happy and beautiful special day just the same. Okay, take care, you guys, and have a beautiful, beautiful evening.